Yeah, obviously we're excited to play. It's been a few weeks now where we've been able to be on the ice, and um, we got to take some necessary steps again in our process and our growth and maturity of our program. And always nice to get on the ice and know that you got a game on the weekend. So I think we're all excited to get going.
As seems to be per usual, not taking it easy with the early schedule, diving right into it with a St. Cloud State team that was supposed to be rebuilding last year, but then went to a regional final. I mean, just what do you think of the Huskies and kind of as a way to dip your feet into it here?
Well, to answer your first question, I don't think we'll ever shy away from playing the best teams. I think that's part of what we want to do. I think you learn a lot about your team right off the bat, and you grow and mature quicker than maybe uh, you would if you didn't play some of the best teams. I mean, we're playing the NCHC champion. That means a lot, and we're going to find out where we're at and where we need to go probably after the first period. And so I think it's a huge challenge for our program. We're now in year 3. We are closing the gap on the scholarships and the type of player that we're recruiting. And so, again, necessary step for our program and in this build.
And about the Huskies, what do you expect from them?
I expect them to be skating as fast as any team in the country. I think they're a high-flying team. They've got a couple of deep defensemen that one was hurt at the end of the year that they missed, and he's back. So I'm assuming he's going to be running the show. And Pert's probably one of the best in the country. And they've got a pretty good forward group that, pretty top heavy, that'll probably be right up there in points in their league and probably the country for that matter. So typical St. Cloud team, they're going to sling pucks from everywhere. They're going to work from behind the net. They're going to be good in transition. They don't give you much offensively, and so you're going to have to earn everything, and you better stay out of the box because their power play is lethal.
You've got an interesting situation in goal with a freshman coming in with Trotter, who's got some experience with your program, and then Seibel, who I talked to over the summer, who had a great summer and is kind of itching for his chance to be a #1 guy. How is that shaking out as far as there's only one crease, I guess.
Yeah, you only have one net, but I think it's important to have competition at that position. I think it's important for Trotter's growth and maturity and development. And so with Prosma and Seibel back there, I think we have a pretty good threesome to push each other. It's been very competitive in practice, which is what we like. And it'll be a tough decision for us come game time. We feel like all 3 of them can play. A year ago, we heavily relied on Trotter, which sometimes is good, sometimes it's not so good, especially when you get to the later stages of the season. College hockey is a long year. You're on the ice practicing a lot. So you need to have guys that can play, go in there and play, and we feel like we do.
All right. Anything from Ryan?
Rico, when I talked to you a couple of weeks ago, you said that now that you're getting prepared for game time, do you have a better idea of where your team is at now that you're starting to get into game time situations?
I think, you're starting to kind of solidify your lines a little bit, starting to have a little bit more chemistry, your D pairings, you're starting to figure out who's going to be in certain spots in certain situations. So yeah, I feel like our team is progressing really nice. I think we're moving in the right direction in our growth and our maturity as a program. And I feel good about the team that we've assembled. It's a good group. It's a deeper group, a little bit more skilled group than we've had. And those are all necessary steps in our journey here. So hopefully we can come together and start, gelling as a team, because we do have some new guys that haven't played in our system yet. And, but we have some veteran guys too that have played college hockey for a while, and they shouldn't be in a position where they're not feeling good about preparing for a weekend.
How do you like the energy level of your team right now? Everybody seems to be where you want to be in that particular area.
Well, I think if you watched us play a year ago, you know that our energy level is part of our identity. Our work ethic is part of our identity. So that has not taken a backseat to anything. That's going to be a staple for our program. And we recruit to that. And our guys believe in that work habit, that daily work ethic that we need to be successful in our culture.
Rico, one of the more intriguing guys on your roster is Jake Ratzlaff, who's obviously a talented multi-sport athlete, played some college football, and now is kind of transitioning back to college hockey. What have you seen from him? And does he still have the linebacker body, or is he back to a defenseman body now?
Jake's done a really nice job of getting himself prepared for the hockey season. He had a tough goal last year with injuries, and he had to rehab a little bit, and he's dropped a lot of weight from his time as a football player. I think the instincts of that he had as a hockey player are starting to come back. I think if you ask our entire staff and our team, we've been pleasantly surprised with how quick he's transitioned back to hockey. A couple of guys were joking with me because I wear a quarterback sleeve with practice on my arm, so I don't forget what's going on. And some of the guys were coming up to me like, "Don't let Jake see that because he might tackle you." So, other than that, it's been a pretty good transition.
And I was going to ask, one thing I suppose that's good about playing a team like St. Cloud, where you're going to have your hands full, and nobody's taking it lightly, is you don't necessarily look ahead to the following weekend where you've got the big game at the XL Center and all that. But do you have to kind of keep your guys focused in the moment right now?
Our big game's on Saturday against St. Cloud.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess the nice thing is I don't have to motivate our guys to play one of the best teams in the country. So we're going to go and play, and we focus on one day at a time, be where our feet are. We've really focused on that in our culture and the way we built this program, or are building the program. And so, yeah, St. Cloud is enough to worry about. In fact, if you ask some of the boys, Wednesday's practice might be enough to worry about.
Rico, what does it say about Lucas Wallen to be named captain his sophomore year?
I think you see the respect that he has in the locker room. Lucas's work habits are great. He's a very open teammate in terms of holding guys accountable and holding himself to the standard. So, for us, it was I don't want to say a difficult decision, but it was a process that we went through. And we have an advisory board that I meet with constantly, and they did a great job in terms of our getting our new guys acclimated to our culture and what we believe in and how we do business from a day-to-day perspective. And from that, Lucas was the guy that we decided to go with as wearing the C. But in today's game, everybody's has a role. Everybody's a leader in their own right, and everybody needs to follow at certain times. And so that's all part of how we're building our culture, and understanding those roles and those situations are important for everybody. And Lucas is going to be the guy that wears the C and gets to talk to the reps, and and I meet with probably daily. And but other than that, we expect everybody to be ready to go.